the inquiry itself, is it true that the sense of being has anything to do with the body, is based on so it's challenging this basic assumption that we have, which is that the sense of being is limited to the body or is something specifically applying to the body, something generated by the brain or something like that. And typically, people tend to struggle with exploring the sense of being because there's this assumption that the sense of being ends at the frame of the body, and how am I going to dissolve the edges of the body in order to be everything? Given that the sense of being is the fabric of experience, how can I recognize that if the sense of being is limited to the body? So the inquiry itself is challenging that assumption that the sense of being has anything to do with the body. So we can explore that right now, because I don't remember the particular exchange that I had described on Substack. So everyone is welcome to feel into this with me. Is it really true that the sense of being has anything to do with the body? So if we put attention on the sense of being, like we did at the beginning of this meeting with the meditation, we may notice this sense of aliveness, this sense of being here, this sense of existence. This is what we're talking about when we say the sense of being. So if we explore the sense of being, I believe one of the first questions that I offered in the inquiry was, well, how do we know the sense of being? In our experience, rather than what we may be thinking about our experience, how do we know the sense of being? Well, we just know it, don't we? It's undeniable. It's just a self-evident fact, right? There's a sense of being here. That's why we don't have to think about it to notice it. It's readily available. And so, given that the sense of being is what's required to notice the sense of being, otherwise nothing could be experienced. Without the sense of being, we couldn't experience anything, like the sound, these colors and shapes, sensations. Nothing could be experienced without the sense of being. So Our experience shows that the sense of being is what's required in order for that to be noticed. So because of that, we notice that the appearance of the body is arising within the sense of being in the same way that this microphone is appearing within the sense of being. This laptop is appearing within the sense of being. This YouTube Live is appearing within the sense of being. And so this question, it's just we're bringing attention to what's primary. We're bringing attention to the most essential aspect of our experience rather than operating within, all these structures and ideas of what's going on here and how, right? We're just, everything has its place, but we're just taking a moment to notice, well, what is my actual experience of what's here, of what's going on here? Is it really true that the sense of being is in the body and ends at the edge of the body? Is that really true that that's my experience? Is that really true that that's your experience? Or is it truer to say that the body and everything else in experience is appearing within the sense of being? The sense of being is what's primary. Just like, I have a daily planner here. The paper needs to be there first in order for any of the text to appear. Right? So if we're saying that the body is more primary than the sense of being, that the sense of being is within the body, it is exactly like saying that the paper is within the letter D in daily. That's how ridiculous it is. When we're actually looking at what's happening with what's here. The experience is that paper allows for words and lines to appear. And so we don't have to do away with these words and lines. We don't have to dismiss them. We don't have to reject them. Just like we don't have to reject the appearance of a body and objects and all these textures and shapes. We don't have to reject anything. We also don't have to bullshit ourselves at the idea that what's primary is secondary. No, it's backwards, right? Like we often say. You are not in the body is within you. This, for lack of a better, really it's prior to this. It's less tangible than space. It's spaciousness, capacity for space. But all of this is arising within you. So given that the spaciousness is what's primary, how could it have anything to do with a body other than being the substance of it, being the potentiality for it. So